It's midday here in sunny Las Vegas, and we're midway through our broadcast for the Preseason Invitational. North American games are kicking off right now.
What does it take to mold a champion? Shape your destiny. Hone your craft. In mobile esports, it doesn't get any bigger than this. Today is where the molding begins, the preseason, where teams have the chance to establish their rhythm as a new 5-player team, try out strategies, and gel as a group in preparation for a historic run for the championship. The VPL Preseason Invitational begins now.
Welcome into the North American portion of our broadcast. Earlier today, we saw Salty Potatoes, Clash, and Team Queso all pick up victories, but now it's time for the NA teams to get their chance. We'll have Vision Gaming versus Tilt Rehab and Nova Esports versus Hammers Esports coming up a little bit later, but first, it is Slimy Salamanders versus Tribe Gaming in our hype game of the week.
Boom! How's it going, everyone? My name is FlashX. It is week 4 here. We do have a hype game coming up. I'm joined by my good friend Tasty Bacon.
Absolutely excited. Now you know that those voiceovers aren't pre-recorded, but we are going to be getting on into our first matchup of the day. We have Tribe still fighting for that #1 spot despite yesterday's performance, and we can take a look at the standings, see where they are sitting, tied with TSM in the loss column for that first place spot. Slimy Salamanders and Nova Esports both right behind them at 3 and 2. Then we have Rogue, Vision Gaming, Tilt Rehab, and Hammers Esports all rounding out the rest of the standings. We are going to be getting a look at this first matchup, though. Some of the players had some words.
Hey guys, Tinker here, Slimy Salamanders. Go up against Tribe this week. To prepare for that, we spent the last month out in the desert. There's better Wi-Fi out here than LA, to be honest. But they're going down. We are the Slimy Salamanders.
Month in the desert to prepare for this matchup against Tribe. Tinker feeling confident in going into this one, but we also got to hear from Tribe as how they're preparing for this game.
Hey guys, this is Old School. As far as what our team has planned coming into our games this weekend, we want to try to start and have really good drafts. We want to try to put all our players on really good matchups and allow them to provide really well to our win condition. We want to make sure we have really good positioning, and we want to make sure we have really clean executions.
So the draft is the focus here for Tribe, something that you would definitely know a little bit about here, Flash. So what are your thoughts on hearing that they're definitely wanting to key in on getting their players on their comfort picks?
After that loss to Nova yesterday, they have to start from the beginning with that draft and going back and analyzing what went well, what didn't work well. I think a lot of that can go back to the draft. A lot of mismatches. I mean, you saw starting all over with that huge outplay on Kestrel. It was phenomenal. They need to step it up here again today.
All right, well, we'll get to see if their draft focus pays off. So we have the picks and bans. Draft already complete. You see Slimy Salamanders with their composition on the top, Tribe Gaming on the bottom. What stands out to you here, Flash, right off the bat?
It has got to be the synergy between the Lyra and the Tony. That's something that we've seen a lot more in Europe as opposed to North America, but it's something that I think is going to suit Tribe very well. Again, getting Max Green onto one of those traditional captain-based heroes in the top lane and to allow him to provide a lot of utility to his team is going to be very important. It's just going to come down to the execution.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see which one of those two is going to go on to Max and which one's going to be in the captain role for Gabe Vizzle. But we're going to be finding out very quickly. So we are ready for our first game of the day. Humanist and Denomine, take it away.
Well, that's right, Bacon, and I hope the viewers are ready to go because Slimy Salamanders versus Tribe, this is going to be a spicy little matchup. I'm Humanist, joined by Denomine and Noms. These are pretty fun drafts.
Yeah, they definitely are a little bit different than what we've seen over the past couple weeks. So Old School's going to be picking up the Scarf. We don't have Celeste making it through here, so I think that gives Iraqi Zoro a little bit of a comfort zone that Celeste won't have that range advantage, and that Scarf has to go through what is actually quite a tanky front line here on the side of the Salamanders.
Yeah, we'll see if they can break through that front line, apply that damage. Right now, early laning phase, no big deal. Gabe Vizzle always trying to move over. See if he actually throws a flare to see if he can go ahead and steal away that Crystal Treant from the invade there. Not going to work for him, but a nice try.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Dienzio on the Gwen is going to be an interesting matchup against Tinker here in the top lane. Jewel, quite tanky as long as she is facing the enemy. If Tinker turns his back, that's where Dienzio needs to take the opportunity to get that empowered basic attack and try to do some burst damage down to this this tanky Jewel, who's also going to be healing up with a Book of Eulogies.
Kind of like worst case scenario would be like once Zio has Aces High, like if Tinker just turns around for a second, gets caught with Aces High while he's facing the wrong direction, it could really just go real bad for him real quick. But once again, big fan of this Jewel, and I hope to see them make it work here.
Yeah, absolutely. We, you know, over the past couple weekends, we've seen Gabe Bizzle playing a lot of Captain Tony, but this time around, it does look like it's going to be Max Green here in the bottom lane. He's going to have that Tony and Gabe Bizzle probably going to be spending a majority of his time in the mid lane, trying to keep Old School full on health, making sure that this dragon can get hyperfed.
So Max on this Tony, it's gonna be a little bit interesting, I think, and kind of going along with the trend of also like sometimes putting a Dodgeo in this role, going with that Storm Crown into utility build, maybe some aggression here in mid. But if this calms down, Old School taking a lot of damage. He'll be okay. But how does this play out with the Tony? Like, what items are we looking for? How does he actually disrupt and control the fight?
He's probably going to be going into that Storm Crown first, like you mentioned, which doesn't pack him a lot of damage, but what it does do is give some energy regeneration and gives him some cooldown so that he can spam out that Jawbreaker and the Trash Talk a little bit more frequently, and that additional stun in a team fight can make the world of difference.
World of difference. Well, that's what you'd like to see happen if you are playing the Tony. Now, I've been playing the Tony. I love this hero. I think it's super fun. You're able to get, you know, just jump around from target to target in fights, focus one down, easy chase, easy knockbacks, and of course, just like you can have really epic taunts. If you can get a taunt over a wall, because of the pathing, it can get really funky really quick.
Yeah, it absolutely can. And, you know, speaking of Tony's kit, that Bada Boom as well can be used to either... Oh, yeah, he is.
With the twirly death, he's got it. Joseph diving in deep down to the T2 turret there. And Zio and Joseph will go ahead and port back. That was a nice kill.
Yeah, it absolutely was. Puts one on the board, gets a little bit of gold over here to this Koshka as well. And that's really where Koshka is going to excel. Getting a little bit ahead in gold early on is going to make those ganks all the more deadly. We see he's already getting ready to purchase that Aftershock, just a couple hundred gold shy, about 500 gold to go, 600 gold to go, and he'll be rocking with that Aftershock, and that's what's really going to be the biggest spike here early game on this Koshka.
Iraqi making the rotation down into bottom, unfortunately not connecting with the first round of Glimmer Shots, so Max just kind of laughs that one off, and as 3 make the move down towards his lane, he's really not feeling any pressure at all, so a bit of a swing and a miss out of the Salamanders on that move.
Yeah, Old School and Joseph both already at level 5, working their way to level 6, so we have a distinct experience advantage here on the side of Tribe, as now Joseph and Dienzio, they're doing their best to whittle away at this turret with that Captain minion there. They may just be able to take it, and that's going to put some gold over in favor of Tribe. That's going to help Joseph get online, going to help this Scarf get rolling towards the later stage of the game. They're going to take away some jungle on their way out.
Take a little jungle on the way out. Yeah, these guys, super nice take over there. And the thing is, if Jewel doesn't get any help, she can't really do anything early on. This is a hero that gets 3 items or so and comes online and starts bursting people down into the mid-late game. So it's going to be tough. I don't know if you have a different opinion on that.
I think it's going to be a little bit dependent on the build that Tinker goes. You know, yesterday we saw some Jewel play with Serpent's Mask Breaking Point as opposed to the original Jewel build, which was more critical damage. You know, Sorrow Blade followed up the Monocle, Tornado Trigger. And it's a lot of burst potential that can come out of the Jewel, especially since it's weapon damage with that Thunder Strike that can hit multiple enemies for that big, massive spike of damage. So, I do hope we see the crit build come here out of Tinker. I really do not like the Serpent's Mask build.
Yeah, I don't like the lifesteal build because, like, I mean, from my perspective, you're not really trying to sustain through these fights. You're getting on targets and just popping them. And if you're not popping them, you're probably not playing the hero effectively. But, hey, if he can make it work, I would like to see a different way.
Yeah, it would be neat to see it work out. Joseph and D'Enzio once again forcing this wave up as much as possible. But we might have a tussle breaking out here down in the bottom lane.
Oh, we got a tussle. We got a bright bulwark down. Xenotech in the drifting dark. Hits the Malice, but not the Verdict. Tribe's vision just now timing out. That was nice that they had vision there, at least, so they weren't totally caught out now. The dissension down upon the turret here from the Salamanders, and it looks like Tribe are just going to commit 2 here, and really incredibly disruptive. Keep your eyes up in top, though, because you have Zio and Joseph. They're going to take a turret with no trouble at all. Tinker's not there. Old School just continues to farm. I think he even got a... I don't even know what he took. He's just taking farm off the map, and Tribe, successful defense, 2 versus 4.
Yeah, great plays coming out of Tribe there. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, in the top lane, it was D'Enzio and Joseph making short work of that top turret. Gabriel narrowly escaping from Iraqi Zoro there, but he'll make it out alive. And Lyra, of course, with the Imperial Sigil, should probably drop that for Max screen here in just a moment.
We'll see if that'll come out here, of course, for Max. Keep him healed up. Gabe doing a pretty good job on this Lyra. You know, when I think of Gabe Vizzle Lyra, he's one of the more aggressive. We'll talk about aggressive. Joseph getting a little damage in mid, but Gabe, he's one of the Lyras that does tend to start fights off just by portaling in onto a key target, just arcane passage in, and look to just pop someone, which sometimes can blow up in their face.
Yeah, it absolutely can, as we see Old School getting himself a kill on the board there as well. 3-0 now for the side of Tribe. The Ghostwing is on the map, I believe, so I would expect Tribe to maybe take this turret and then maybe shift their focus over that way. Oh, Mixi!
Yeah, Mixi taking a little bit of damage, but a bada boom. Iraqi Zero, you're in the wrong place, but he'll go down. Mixi gonna go down as well, and Tribe just a much more intelligent rotation here, a much more effective rotation. They were gonna get the turret no matter what. They take the kills and the turret.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, again, that buff that comes out of Ghostwing is something I expect to see Tribe really prioritize here in the near future. It'll probably be off the back of them picking up a kill or two, knowing that it'd be incredibly risky for the enemy to make any sort of engagement. We see Jungle getting cleaned out once again by Tribe. Already a 6,000 gold lead in their favor.
Is that good?
Definitely. Yeah, it's phenomenal for them. You know, getting this Scarf ahead is absolutely key for them winning in the later stages of the game. Joseph has done a great job with his rotations, getting the picks, helping D'Enzio take down those turrets, and it's really helped establish a nice wall that Tribe have where, you know, like we just saw a couple moments ago, that 2 versus 4 where they were able to hold off that aggression. So really goes to show, you know, how effective getting ahead is.
There's the aggressive portal onto Xenotech. They all follow through. Gabe setting up the fight, his team following up there to nominate. Tribe in the zone right now, and Tinker caught out in the jungle. I guess they could let him go because look at the patience. Very smart decisions once again. They just go for the turret. Joseph could have chased him down. He could have gotten a kill there. They take the turret instead and look for maybe a little more damage, or they back up. They take the jungle. Very smart decisions there.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely a much better version of Tribe than we saw yesterday. You know, not necessarily that they played bad, they just, you know, unfortunately did end up falling. They seem a little bit more coordinated. I'm definitely willing to bet they put some practice in last night.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more than just one night. Who knows? Maybe they just practiced this morning. We don't even know. Gauntlet comes down. Nothing does come of it because right now the Salamanders don't really have a strong grip on this game. Xenotech, he's trying to build his second item, and to talk about Xenotech, he's focused down, caught out, taken down. Joseph, he'll jump in with the Yummy Catnip Frenzy. It's blocked off. We're gonna have Dragon's Breath coming on through. Can they get on target? Nope, not quite. They're not gonna chase into that. And one thing, I'm just seeing very patient play. I think someone has got a strong chokehold on the shot calls for Tribe right now.
Yeah, it definitely feels to be the case as we see this Ghostwing is getting started up off the back of the kill onto Xenotech. And D'Enzio quite low here, so that is something we'll have to keep an eye on. He's going to get healed up now by Gabe Vizzle. Actually, quite a massive amount there. Gabe Vizzle, no fountain, has gone very heavy into the bonus health, which does increase the healing that Lyra will give the team. And we see him making excellent use of that there. Serpent's Mask is online for Mixi, but we're struggling to get that breaking point. Serpent's Mask also completed for Tinker, so we were talking about this earlier, and Don't know if that's the way to go with the Jewel in this game.
Yeah, it's just not what I would like to see, but I'm not going to rip on it too much because there's a whole lot of other factors playing into what's going on here. And I think the biggest factor, more than the Salamanders misplaying, is really, this is Tribe just setting the tempo and playing to their potential. Sometimes they just come online. Like, all of these players, I think, have been known to sit on their laurels a little bit and kind of just play the game a little bit loosely and get beat by lesser teams. But then once they turn it up, they just start stomping on others. And right now, they're kind of knocking on the door. 11.5 minutes in, 7-0, Tribe in a just dominating position, looking to shut this one out on the Salamanders probably in the next few minutes.
It looks to be the case. They have quite the massive lead for themselves right now. Max Green has completed that Aegis. Gabe Vizzle as well completed an Aegis. So those are going to be the two that we're looking for, soaking up the damage from Iraqi Zoro in these team fights, as a couple of base turrets get dropped there in quick succession by the side of Tribe.
Yeah, that was the split push, 2 in each lane from each team, and then you have Mixi on the Rona going up against Max Green on the Tony down and bottom in a 1v1. Nothing comes of that. I guess Mixi gets a little bit of farm, shoves the lane out, but they lose 2 turrets, and I don't know about that one.
Yeah, no, definitely not a comfortable spot to be in against a team like Tribe, who are sitting 12,000 gold up, 7-0 here on the rise right now. So we see what kind of control they're maintaining. Dienzio, while the kills may not represent, I think he's actually done a fantastic job with his positioning in these fights and dishing the damage out to an appropriate target that has helped the team push through the rest of the fight.
Theo right now with the breaking point complete. He's been pumping out damage, not finding kills. You see 6 assists. He's going to start to be ramping up that damage, and we could see him just start to kind of push this game over the top, and he's definitely in a place where he can just start dominating fulls. So this wasn't like the tension bow, go for the early game Gwen. This is a full late game scaling Gwen here.
Yeah, absolutely. As Black Claw is getting started up here by the side of Tribe, we do see a couple of the Salamanders making their way over, but it's not going to be in time. They're greeted by Dienzio there. And with that weapon buff, Gwen is quite a threat. So this might be Tribe pushing in for the win here, as they only have that armory to go through in the mid lane.
Well, if I'm on the Salamanders side right now, this is where I'm just like, I don't know, get your Hot Pocket out, put it, you know, in the microwave, get it going, you know, start making your snack or popcorn, whatever you want, because this game is pretty much over. I mean, you can kind of kite back, try to apply some damage, but this feels like 90% chance if Tribe plays this well, they're going to end the game. Now here's the jump. Gauntlet comes on down. Let's see if Jewel can apply some damage. I'm really not seeing it stack up just yet. There, it comes out onto Zio. Big red button, but remember, this is a weapon Jewel. Not what they're looking for. School around the backside, getting the damage, but body blocked by Arden. Tribe kind of repositioning, grouping back. They jump onto the Scarf. Mixi applying good damage, but can't follow up. The Arcane Passage trolls him out, and Mixi's down. Tribe have got one. They're going to look for more. Bada boom will disrupt the Salamanders. Please have mercy on the Salamanders. Yummy Cat and Frenzy will seal the deal as Black Claw continues to just march on down. And ladies and gentlemen, this one's going to be a good game in less than 15 minutes here. Really nice to see Tribe kind of step up and put on a dominant performance.
Yeah, they absolutely did, and you know, specifically in that last fight, we saw the Salamanders funnel a lot of attention onto Old School and Dienzio, but the whole time, or I mean, not I Love Joseph and Dienzio. Old School the whole time was just raining in those fireballs over that wall near the top lane base side, and was able to stack up the damage, caught out Iraqi Zoro with a great goop, and they were able to turn the fight very quickly off the back of that, and then picked them off 1, 2, 3. Great ultimate coming out of Max Green as well.
Yeah, I really actually do like the Scarf into the Kestrel. I think you can just throw Spitfires, the goops down, and it makes his life really hard. But there's a lot of factors playing into that. To go ahead and break this down, let's throw it over to Tasty Bacon and Flash X.
Well, Tribe seems to be right back on track after that one. A great showing from them once more, taking down Slimy Salamanders, maybe a little dehydrated after that month in the desert.
Yeah, not the exact environment you want to be if you are a Salamander, but Tribe stepping it up a notch. This is the execution we expected out of them. As soon as they took that Black Claw, they marched it right down the mid lane. They actually did a really interesting split push right here. They went up towards top, forced Slimy Salamanders to engage, and then Gabe Vizzle on this Lyra did such a good job kiting everyone out. He popped that Crucible, getting them through the gauntlet, dropped the Bright Bulwark, allowing them to reset, and that's exactly what Tribe needed to reset, play from distance, and ult up, taking this game.
You can take a look at what you guys were thinking heading into this one. You know, that's how you do a video. GG, Tinker. Of course, a lot of fun with that one. Add a little bit of spice to the matchup. Unfortunately for the Salamanders, unable to act up to it. So with Tribe getting themselves right back on track with a very decisive win here, that's got to be feeling good for their confidence going into next week, because last week had some serious issues, maybe some weaknesses exposed that they're going to be trying to shore up. But we've got two guys with us who have a very first-hand insight on this one, Humanist and Denominate. What happened last week? What was the difference between last week's Tribe and this week?
I mean, this is something that we mentioned like during the game, Bacon. I think Tribe, full of the best players in the scene. Not to say that there aren't some sprinkled on other teams, but like this is an all-star team. But sometimes they do kind of sit back. They don't put it all together. And you see when they do, it's really dominating. But when they were losing, it's like they're just not making the shot calls. Sometimes if Zio gets into a position where he's stuck and forced into his lane and he can't really participate with his team, that's where they kind of fall behind. But I don't know. I do think that Tribe is really here to stay, though.
And obviously some great plays out of Nova as well. But the other surprise last week was Rogue taking down TSM. Denominate, what happened with that matchup?
You are absolutely right on that upset there, Bacon. Rogue just had absolutely phenomenal rotations through a majority of that game. They maintained control through a large part. The kills early on would have made you believe it was TSM, but objective control and split pushing was the name of Rogue's game, and they took it all the way to the end.
All right, well, Tribe, TSM, both of them falling last week. It's going to lead to a matchup next week to determine who will get first place. With Tribe winning today, obviously you can see the stats on your screen. This is coming into today's game. So Tribe, their stats are going to be a little bit different now, but coming into today, TSM still had the edge in all of our currently tracked stats. So that gives an advantage to TSM. Will that pan out in their matchup next week is the question.
Definitely a huge matchup between those two teams. A lot of people have been looking forward to it, expecting it. It is going to be very exciting and a lot of fun.
Yeah, but that is next week. However, right now we have our next matchup of the day. Vision Gaming going head-to-head against Tilt Rehab. The draft is concluded. We see Vision Gaming on the top with an incredible lineup, and then Tilt Rehab on the bottom side getting a nice combo themselves.
Definitely some spicy drafts going on right here. Vision Gaming has such a good front line to peel for that Celeste. 4 melee bruisers, just making sure that no one from Tilt is getting that back line. Tilt Rehab, on the other hand, they have Arden with Finn now. Not a combination we've seen a whole lot of. You've got to be excited for that Weapon Power Arden.
Hopefully we get to see the Weapon Arden come out, but at the same time, I'm also worried about it because that is an incredibly strong lineup that we see on the side of Vision Gaming. So maybe go with that Crystal Arden so I can talk about how bad the Crystal Arden is in case it takes the loss here, because that is a terrifying composition. We're going to bring back Humanist and Denominate because this is where I'd normally ask for your player to watch, Flash. However, while we've got you guys here, Humanist and Denominate, who is your player to watch for this game?
I mean, come on, Bacon, get off the CPR dens. Weapon Arden, CPR not good. Okay, whatever. Let's talk about players to watch. There are a ton of really phenomenal players. I want to keep my eyes on Lightning T. This guy will make or break games. Phenomenally skilled player, but also a player that can kind of like outthink his opponent a couple steps ahead. And if he can put a good game together here, I think we could see a win.
Right. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there, Humanist. Lightning T, definitely a kind of breakout player. Been hyping the guy up for quite a long time. He's back in the lane. We've seen him the past couple weeks on the mages, and his positioning has been absolutely devastating to the opposition, and we'll have to look forward to see if that happens today.
Yeah, well, definitely going to be looking forward to that, but what about this draft, guys? We have this incredible composition put together by the side of Vision Gaming with the Grumpjaw, the Tony, Reza, Celeste, all going onto the same team. Like, how does this happen? And just what are you expecting to see out of this one, Denominate?
It's definitely definitely different, Bacon, but you know, it's a very tanky composition, as well as with the Reza, they have a lot of burst potential that can help Celeste get into the later stages of the game.
And on the other side, obviously, Finn, we've seen do some great things yesterday. Will that momentum continue to keep going here into this matchup? Tilt Rehab obviously has been struggling a little bit. Vision Gaming trying to show that they are one of these top contenders. Is this going to be enough for Tilt Rehab to pick up the victory?
Definitely hard to say. It's going to be a bloodbath for sure. Tilt Rehab trying to find that AoE splash damage. Let's see how it goes. Humanist Denominate, take us on to the rise.
Yeah, buddy, Flash, we're on to the rise. Players are making their way out into their positions, and we've got Vision going up against Tilt Rehab. And you know what? I love Vision Gaming. Really love Vision Gaming. But I gotta say, like, Tilt Rehab's draft, it got me going here, Denominate.
Yeah, it absolutely did. It's going to be an exciting one to watch for sure. It's kind of hard early on to call who's going to win this, because while we do have a lot of
Tilt Rehab will win this one.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, come on. You get an Arden Finn team and you're not going to root for that? You should learn how to be a biased caster.
I mean, I probably should learn how to be a bias caster, but, you know, I'm never going to count out PvP Warrior. You know, he's on the Rona this game, so not the Vox we really like to see him on, but definitely a hero that can really change the game and set up a lot of plays. Very, very tanky, as well as able to build up breaking point stacks so quickly in the later stages of the game that she could be a huge damage threat with only 1 or 2 items.
I think that's really what kind of defines PvP in my mind, and this is like, yeah, of course you play the hero a little bit differently, but if you look at like what it takes to start taking over fights and taking over the game, it is realizing when you've built up enough breaking point stacks to start winning a fight and take over the game, and PvP does that incredibly well. And actually a little bit of action right now. Tilt Rehab kind of collapse behind Vision deep in the jungle here, and that splash damage raining on through. Now Neon Fire's on the backside. He's gonna find Pajama. That's a squishy little Kestrel. Pool incredibly low. Pool's gonna go down. That's gonna be your first blood. Nice job there, and it's a bloodbath all of a sudden. A 2-for-1 trade. Tilt Rehab moving backwards, actually, is Lightning T, the player to watch, forcing them back, but they turn it right back around. They'll find another one. Holy nuts, we got 5 kills in 2 minutes here.
Yeah, it's been a quick game as far as the pace goes so far, for sure. We see Celeste recalling back, picking up a couple crystal bits, gonna bring a lot of damage here to the mid lane at this point. Archaic is able to make it out dangerously low there. But 3-2 on the scoreboard, slight gold lead here for the side of Tilt Rehab so far, and we'll have to see if they can keep that up. Archaic, though, he's got that divergent path unlocked now, those ranged crystal basic attacks.
And that's pretty good, right?
That's it's really where interest starts to take off. So yes, that's very good.
It's good, but honestly, I don't think it's as like game breaking as everybody talks about it. Yes, it's good. His harass is there, but you still have to make smart plays, and it looks like a smart play right now. Pajama booting on forward. Neon Fire's in trouble, and rest in peace.
Yep, that's going to be a 4th kill on the board.
And Vulnerable might go down as well. Sino getting boosted forward with the Vanguard. He'll find one. Quibble comes down. Pool's incredibly low. Malice and Verdict is there. Pool, get out of here, dude! Oh, his passive comes on through. It's not enough. He'll drop the weapon buff right under the turret. Lightning T will move over to pick that up, because what's a weapon buff if it's not on a Celeste?
Well, I mean, anybody on your team getting the buff is better than nobody getting it, you know, realistically. Or, you know, it's obviously way better than the enemies picking it up is really the key thing. So now Rehab, they might get jumped on here by Lightning T. Actually,
no way, they got to
clean out the farm.
They got a Finn. They're going to be fine here. And actually, they turn around. Drifting Dark's going to come on through with the Malice and Verdict, and Vulnerable getting a lot of damage, and Vulnerable's going to go down. Look at the Idris doing work. I reverse caster cursed it. I blessed it. I caster blessed it.
Absolutely. Sino, great Drifting Dark there. Great opportune moment that he turned around that aggression. They were able to bring Invulnerable down nearly to 0. And then here comes Archaic. He comes rolling in with the Shroud Step and then finishes it off with one of those ranged basic attacks like we were talking about. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Neon Fire, he is working on getting that Aftershock online. but up against the Kestrel,
they got
he's
another
doing a
kill
really
here.
good job so far.
Lightning T's already doing significant work on the Celeste, really putting the damage together. They find another kill here, and while they're down in kills overall, Vision, I think, still in a pretty good place.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels pretty even so far. We've seen definitely a couple extra kills get picked up by the side of Tilt Rehab, but they're only a couple hundred gold ahead despite having those 4 additional kills and despite making a couple good jungle rotations. So, you know, they're doing a good job getting the kills, but I feel like Vision is answering back with a good job sharing on some of that ambient gold and making good rotations into the enemy jungle when they can.
One thing, if you're like an off-meta weapon, or not even weapon, I got Bacon stuck in my head, just an Arden player, it doesn't matter how you play it. If you're not playing in the captain position, you get to actually farm through the early game without being forced around the map. Dude, that is where you want to be. That's a magical feeling, and Maokai's in a great place right now. He's got his boots, Storm Crown, a little bit of early armor and shielding, and he should be in a great place as long as he doesn't get shut down here to have an impact in this game.
Yeah, you're right, but Archaic and Pajama, they went ahead and pushed into that top objective and are going to take that down. Meanwhile, it looked like Invulnerable was going to try to make a push down there in the bottom, but with Maokai coming and the minion wave disappearing, it's just a little bit too risky for him to stick around, so going to make a rotation through the enemy jungle, but there's not really anything there for them to take, so this is a little bit of time now getting wasted by the side of Vision.
Vision continuing to make these rotations, looking for something as Tilt Rehab just kind of in the place where they want to be. That was that minion candy used up in top. Archaic and Pajama getting onto the T2 turret here. Neon Fire by himself really can't do anything. And it's actually Ghostwing started up down here by Vision. Let's see how this is going to play out. Pool, only level 4, moving down. He's in there with the Jawbreaker. He'll get the taunt back as well. And Ghostwing is actually captured up by Maokai getting the last hit there. Gauntlet's going to come down. He just hit his level 6. If they'll go ahead and just try to regroup without losing anybody. And in fact, they might even turn it around to take Pool. They're really respecting Lightning T. During this time, though, you still have 2 members of Tilt Rehab. They stayed up in top, Pajama and Archaic, and they just very easily take that turret down.
Yeah, they do, but Sino here in the mid lane, he does have that Ghostwing buff, and all of the members of Vision are very, very low. Look at the Malice and Vertex almost picking up the kill there.
Dude, what a Finn. I'm gonna be on the Finn train until everybody jumps on board. Best hero in the game.
Need some more, like, crystal mid Finn. That's what we need.
I'm down. I'm down. What you need, dude... Okay, no, I'm not even gonna tell people what we really need, because then everybody's just gonna want it, and that wouldn't be fair.
Now in Rehab, they take an opportune moment where the side of Vision had recalled for a rotate mid and take another objective. They now have 3 turrets taken, and they have all of theirs standing, so Rehab, I think you called it a little bit earlier there, they have maintained control thus far in this game. Now we're only 7.5 minutes in, but they're starting to establish themselves a gold lead, almost 4,000 at this point.
Significant net worth lead right now, and once again, I don't know if you're noticing this, Denomini, but this is 4 members of Rehab making any sort of rotations, and Maokai just stays in bottom. He's just doing his job. He's going to shove this down, and the 4-man squad with Finn on the front side, and then the range burst damage coming out of the 3 members behind him, really allows Tilt Rehab to just very cleanly make these kind of like pivotal kind of movements in these lanes, and just apply so much damage.
Okay, he might get a little bit caught here. PvP Warrior has that weapon buff.
Dude, you're gonna be fine, bud. It's the Jabation! Maokai has debated them back. Now, Ali down here, Pajama as well. The Gauntlet comes down, Red missed out. Maokai trying to get back through. Sino's here, Archaic as well. And looks like these guys know what they're doing here. Maokai able to stay alive through that one, feeling good about it, still in fighting shape. They're gonna zone out Pool as he moves down. This is their turret now.
Yeah, it looks to be the case as they now sit 5-6 objectives up if you include the Ghostwing. So, you know, again, great rotations coming out of this team. We constantly see when they have the enemy's wave pushed, they're making smart rotations down and pushing a weaker lane, someone who's a little bit behind and can't really defend so much against the onslaught coming in. You know, someone like Celeste, when she is healthy, she can hold off pretty well, but you know, Rona, short range, has to be in the brunt of things to get the damage down, and we just haven't seen Rona come fully online yet. You know, has that Serpent's Mask, still needs to get that breaking point before she's a real threat.
Yeah, and you don't have the threat there, and Vulnerable really not threatening either. Maokai, I mean, we talked about not having a threat, but PvP Warrior making it happen. He's going to find the solo kill onto Arden down in this bottom lane. Zali Peterson just getting down there a little bit late to the party, and that's a really nice pickup.
Yeah, absolutely. PvP Warrior, while I was just mentioning he's not really a threat. He is a threat when he has a weapon buff, and Arden is incredibly far away from his turret. But as far as the team fights go, we just don't see the damage coming out of PvP Warrior like we'd like to see. And in fact, Neonfire picks up a clean kill onto Pajama as well, getting some gold back over into their pockets, picking up a couple bounties off those kills, a couple small ones.
All bounties there, but that's a nice pickup. The thing is, like, if you're going to get on the Kestrel, if you have some vision down, odds are you're going to kill the Kestrel. She really needs to remain elusive. Now, Rona getting deep into the fight, but Ali Peterson standing his ground, and they'll turn that around. They take pull down. Now things looking very good for Tilted Rehab. My goodness, the Malice and Verdicts from Sinu coming on here and taking these Vision members down. This is just dominating performance at this point.
Yeah, definitely appears to be the case. We've got another Ghost Wing started up here, but Vision Gaming, they know it's going on. Can Neonfire make the steal? No, he cannot. Quick answer to the question there for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I mean, nothing wrong with that, talking to yourself.
Yeah, so got a couple kills on the board for Vision in the past couple minutes. Still, gold lead is continuing to grow for the side of Tilt Rehab. You know, again, the objective control from them has just been absolutely pristine this game. You know, this is the kind of plays that we expect to see out of the top of the top. And they are doing a good job so far. Lightning T, level 9, he does have the extended range on the Heliogenesis, but can he get the plays down where they need them?
Let's see, we're gonna see the pull blocked off there. Actually, that was a really nice take. Neonfire finding another kill. He's gonna find another form detonator on in as they take 2 down. And suddenly, this is Tilt Rehab getting just run over right underneath their own turret. Vision Gaming making the plays. Archaic, he'll find PvP Warrior, able to get that kill for himself. But this is a trade right now, 4 for 1. Vision Gaming super happy with that.
Oh, they have to be super happy about that one. That was definitely a bunch of gold that swinged back over into their favor. They took that central turret, so they got themselves objectively on the board all the way around. First turret's taken.
Is Pool dead? Oh, Pool's dead!
Pool is
definitely
taking a little bit of a dirt nap there, for sure.
Got played. Archaic just took his life from him.
Yeah, we did just hit 12 minutes, though, so Black Claw, he is on the map. And that is a key objective. We're going to have to look for the control coming out of these teams, see who's going to make that push for it, and off the back of what kind of kill are they going to take down before they go for that.
Before what? I'm sorry about.
What? I was just asking, you know, are we going to see a team try to get a kill pick before we have the Black Claw? Or do one of these teams feel like they have the damage ahead enough that they can just push it right underneath the nose of the enemy?
I think it comes down to, do they have vision on their opponents? Are they threatened? Like, is the balance on the map here? If you look right now, vision, this allows Tilt Rehab to take this if they want, because there's 2 down in this bot lane. So you kind of decide, do you want to trade a turret for this or not? How fast can we take it? Pool is a good member to kind of disrupt this if they want to. Actually, Maokai's rotated out. Now there's just 4 over here from Tilt Rehab. 1 shot coming on through. It'll be secured up. Pool, you're gonna die off the back of that one. Yeah. So they get the Black Claw. They're gonna lose Pool, and that was actually a really clean take.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were able to get a kill off the back of it too. Not just any kill. That is going to be the captain that's going to be down for a bit of time. So Fountain not going to be available to the side of Vision. But Vision, they found themselves another target here. Or Rehab, I mean. Tilt Rehab.
PvP Warrior has a breaking point Serpent Mask. I'm pretty sure he can't die at this point.
I'm fairly certain Tilt Rehab will say otherwise.
All right, well, let's see what they have to say about that right now. It's going to be a Ghost Wing take down here right after the Black Claw. Now, Black Claw took down that mid turret down to about 50%. Nobody pushed with it. They moved over as a unit. So Tilt Rehab making that decision there. Do you agree with it?
I definitely think it was interesting for them to go for the Ghost Wing and try to get the kill onto PvP. They had cooldown, they had Black Claw marching down the mid lane, and they have a massive amount of siege damage coming out of Archaic, Sino, and Pajama. So it felt like that rotation might have been a little lackluster to me.
Yeah, well, they still don't really lose anything out of that right now, though. Vision looking kind of like they want to group up to do something. Lightning T, is he going to get put to sleep? No, I think he did use his boots to avoid that. Gauntlet comes down. He's stunned on the backside. Can he reposition? Celeste needs to start applying some damage here. Pool dropping low and vulnerable as well. They jumped onto the backside. Neon fires the target. Tilt Rehab trying to focus the Reza down. They'll drop off as he gets away here. And vulnerable back in. One shot comes on through. The Crucible chunking out, blocking a lot of the damage there. Tilt Rehab still healthy through this. They have, let's see. The pool was blocked off. Actually, I didn't see how the pool came out through that fight.
Yeah, definitely close on both sides. I can't believe everybody actually made it out alive. But that's going to give both of these teams a second shot at life in the next fight. As we're getting later and later into the game and the death timers are getting longer and longer, it's definitely a little bit more risky to give up your life. I mean, even being one person down can spell the difference of a win and a loss here.
It definitely can. I mean, it's really impressive to see two teams just throw all of their abilities, like go hard on a target like that. The other team do everything that they can to keep their teammate alive, and like at the end, nobody goes down. But it's really still exciting for me to watch, even if nobody does die in that moment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Watching both of these teams respect what the other can do is kind of been a key moment or key factor of the last couple moments here. Got a pretty big wave up here that Pajama and Archaic are going to go ahead and split that ambient. Maybe pick up some, maybe pick up one more item or renew infusions. Actually, Archaic's got a renewable infusion in pocket, so that is going to be something to look out for here in this next fight. He's actually still got a little bit of time on the one he has left as well.
This is going to be an important pull to block here. The Force Accord coming out of Finn. You know this is going to be coming out here soon. Also, I think now is where the Arden is actually a factor in this game. And he's going to throw the gauntlet. He's going to go onto key targets. And you can't ignore him, but you also don't want to focus him down because he's pretty tanky now. Pajama. He's found the stun over here onto Neon Fire, taking a lot of damage. Neon Fire gets back, but look at the huge damage coming out. They turned it around. Tilt and Rehab. They're going to lose their Kestrel off the back, trying to reposition. They're dropping back. Ali Peterson keeping them alive, but not for long as Ali's down. Now who's the next target? Solar Storm will chunk through Maokai and Sino. They're trying to get back. Archaic, he's not in position to even connect with a chakram or anything. Maokai will drop. Vision Gaming putting together an impressive fight. Look at, they just spread the damage out on every single player, but nobody goes down.
That was a giant supernova coming out of Lightning T at the beginning of that fight. We almost had a pick by Tilt Rehab onto Neon Fire. He was able to use his Troublemaker to get out of harm's way. Oh no!
Neon Fire just got dunked.
Not going to be out of harm's way for very long, that's for sure. But Lightning T came through, huge supernova, and forced the entire opposition back, and they were able to turn the fight on the back of it. Still a slight gold lead for the side of Tilt Rehab, but side of Vision, they've been basically able to even this out. 12 to 13 on the scoreboard, 54,000 to 55,000. Incredibly close game here.
I mean, just keep your eyes on, of course, we talked about the player to watch, Lightning T, and literally right now it is the player to watch. PvP Warrior also super important to keep your eyes on him. If he can get onto key targets is very important, but honestly the damage that's coming out of the Celeste right now is making or breaking these fights. So Lightning T's got to stay alive on the other side. It's Archaic, Pajama, they all have damage. Sino has damage as well. Solar Storm's going to tear on through. The Forced Accord will not connect here. Ali finds the stun on the front side, now has to move back, silenced on up. They're in this choke point, they just move, look at, they're almost just stacked all on top of this Finn, and also, like, they're vulnerable to area of effect damage when they do that. As long as they stay out of range, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Finn also very good at giving the team a fortified health, but here we go, this fight's breaking out quickly.
There's your gauntlet down, but nobody's really in there besides Pool, and that's not the target they want. Pajama trying to stay at range, apply the damage. There's going to be the pull, the bada boom, disrupting this fight, tearing it apart. Now Sino's dropped. Who's going to be next? Let's see. It's Pajama down. They're going to lose Ali Peterson. Now Ali able to get back, but look at that spellfire damage sticking on through, almost taking them down. Oh, there's the solar. I was gonna say, where's the solar storm? There it is, but it's not on the mark. Needed a strike. He threw a ball, but that was a close one.
That was almost a double kill picked up by Lightning T. Just a little bit to the left. Would have sniped out Maokai and Ali Peterson, who were both basically one hit. But Black Claw is unleashed here by the side of Vision Gaming. They are trying to pull together here in the later stages of the game.
Look at this net worth, Noms.
Yeah, it has grown to be basically dead even, and Lightning T is at that stage of the game where the Celeste is really difficult to deal with. In that last fight, he was pretty much full health at all times and was able to swing the fight very quickly there. Archaic 6-0-4 here on this Idris, though. Let's see if he can get the play and get a Chakram through this Celeste.
Yeah, if he gets someone down to 50% key target and he's not going to get locked down, he could just go ham. Solar Storm coming on through. Look at Vision. They're splitting the lanes down. They got a couple people in mid, 2 in bottom, and 1 up in top. They're taking turrets down in every single lane. Tilt Rehab need to make a focused shot call here. It looks like they've lost their minds as they're running around with like chickens with their heads cut off. Everything just falling apart in their base. Tilt Rehab, not what you're looking for. Vision Gaming look like they pulled the trigger. They're going to move in here, and odds are they're going to be taking this Vein Crystal down, unless there's just some spicy throws, but it's really not happening. PvP Warrior even sitting up there in the healing platform, pretty much finding kills for himself. 18-14, Vision Gaming, 21 minutes in, will find the win here against Tilt Rehab.
In the later stages of the game, Lightning T proved to be a little too difficult to deal with. Tilt Rehab, they played the early game absolutely phenomenally, though. I feel like there was a couple chances, a couple opportunities for them to make rotations into that mid lane. For example, when they took the Black Claw and picked up a kill on the pool, they really didn't do anything with that rotation thereafter, and I feel like that's really one of the points where the game started to swing. They gave a handful of gold over to the side of Vision.
Yeah, they did give over a handful of gold, and they played a good game. I think there's a lot to learn from this game. They were in a great place. Archaic obviously having a great time, but exciting to sit through that one and cast it with you there, Noms. But to break it down, we'll go ahead and throw it back over to the desk.
Crystal Arden unable to get it done when it matters most. Maybe a Weapon Arden closes that one out. Who knows? But all joking aside, a very strong game from both sides. I think Tilt Rehab came out of the gates so strong, got themselves a nice big lead, but just when it came down to it, they weren't quite able to finish off crucial kills.
They weren't kiting all in the same direction. They were splitting out too much. When you see Vision Gaming come in and go for that final push, they play the split push absolutely perfectly, and it doesn't seem like Tilt Rehab really knows how to respond. They have 3 in mid, 1 top, 1 bottom. Tilt Rehab just needs to commit onto dealing with a single lane, deal with it, and then go back to deal with the others. But because they split up so much, they just aren't able to effectively deal with the split push out of the side of Vision Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, we heard our casters during that call that you need to make a decisive shot call, and they didn't make that decisive shot call. Ends up costing them in the end. We saw on Twitter before this game, Ali Peterson was talking about their first W yesterday, looking forward to getting another one. Vision Gaming calling their shot, saying there's not a chance that you beat Vision today. They end up being, I'd say there was a chance. There was very much a chance there, but in the end, Vision comes out on top with the victory when all is said and done.
Yeah, Tilt Rehab making them work for it. I don't think it was as clean cut as what Vision would have liked. But overall, great macro play out of the side of Vision, especially towards the end of the game.
Yeah, excellent stuff. But we have to get on to our final game of the day. Picks and bans completed. Nova Esports on the top going up against Hammers Esports. Their lineup is on the bottom. We're going to get Kroll coming through here, Flash. Something that's been banned away quite frequently today.
Definitely a super strong pick on the Sovereign's Rise in 5v5. So hard to peel away the Kroll. Hammers has a little bit to try and deal with it, but overall, Nova's composition is looking very hard to beat.
Yeah, a really strong combo, but then on the other side, you do still have yourself the Arden with the Tony and the Rona, Samuel, lots of durability, lots of sustainability coming through there. So that's going to be something that we'll have to be contended with. But let's go on to the players to watch. This time it will be your player to watch, Flash. Who are you keeping an eye out for?
It has to be taking a look at the side of Nova. The one, the only, Lone Delphi, Samuel player extraordinaire. He absolutely looked phenomenal in their victory against Tribe yesterday. Got a little bit of clip against Slimy Salamanders, doing so much damage in the back line with that Drifting Dark, with those Malice and Verdicts. So much damage that we're going to have to watch out for again today.
Yeah, absolutely. Lone Delphi is that kind of that consistent player that we always hear about. On the other side, we are also going to be taking a look at BlueStacks for Hammers Esports. I mean, this is a player that just joined the roster pretty recently and was able to have a pretty decent impact with the team. You want to see them continue to, they've been updating their roster pretty much every single week on the side of Hammers. You want to see them be able to get that synergy, be able to actually put together some strong games, maybe find a win or two here and there. They're still searching for that first victory. Will today be the day?
BlueStacks, definitely one of those players that has been around the Vainglory community for a very long time. He's never really competed at this level. Hammer's still tinkering with that roster just a little bit, trying to find their synergy. He can step up. It's a huge opportunity for him to prove that he should be here, that he belongs here, that he should be on this starting roster. Nova, obviously not an easy team to go up against, but we'll see if they can put it together.
Well, one of the things that we talked about at the start when we first saw the draft was Kroll. And speaking of Kroll, he has a brand new skin in-game, the Samurai Kroll skin. If you want to get your free Samurai Kroll, tweet using hashtag VPL and tag a friend to have yourself entered in that giveaway to win a free unlock of the skin. We have one left to give away this weekend. It could be you. Make sure you get involved on social media for your chance at picking that one up.
Kroll definitely going to be just a hero in general that we're going to want to keep our eyes on. If you overextend, if you push up too far, you can definitely get caught out, and absolutely a huge opportunity for Nova to try and capitalize on that. And then you're pairing that with the Glaive. There's so much peel and gank potential. Hammers has got to be careful where they push.
Yeah, and the Celeste too. This was at the start of preseason. That was the deadly combo we were talking about, was the Kroll Celeste, and that is what has been drafted onto this game. So it's going to be definitely an uphill battle, but as we talked about, there is still strong picks on the side of Hammers. They have a couple of strong combos themselves that, if paired properly, if executed to a top level, they can potentially find an upset here against Nova. And obviously Nova, they're going to be riding the high off of yesterday still. They're still got to be elated after their victory against Tribe. Now you have to settle yourself down. You still have to refocus and make sure you don't look past your opponent here on Hammers, but we'll see if they can keep that winning streak going as we get on to the Sovereign's Rise with Humanist and Denominate.
That's right, we're on to the Sovereign's Rise here, and we got Nova versus Hammers. A lot of exciting and fun players to watch out on the Rise here at Denominate.
Yeah, you are absolutely right there, Humanist. We've got a little bit more conventional drafting, I feel, on both sides this game, but the Taka did make it through, and while Taka did receive changes, I don't really want to say nerfs, he's still very strong. He's just
it changed the play style a bit. Yeah, maybe nerfing some things, but it did make it stronger in other areas as well.
Yeah, his base damage is a little bit lower, but once you start getting into your build and you get some crystal power, Taka is actually doing more damage between the bleed and then just the ratios as well. So definitely exciting to watch this out. Erica Kane,
hell of a player. Papa John taking a lot of damage. That's going to be your first blood. Delphi going to be super happy about that one. And I just want to mention, as we're starting off in this game, dude, Truth, I think I've said this before, but Truth is one of the best glaives I've ever seen play the game.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a phenomenal player all around, and in all honesty, just his positioning and the kind of the go all out attitude from him usually synergizes pretty well with the team. Now, once in a while, when he's bit off a little more than he can chew, it does kind of shoot themselves in the foot, but for a majority, I would say that Truth is definitely a huge playmaker here for the side of Nova.
Huge playmaker, but sometimes those huge playmakers just make a few more plays on certain heroes. I think Glaive just lends himself incredibly well. You can see he's going to do things like stand aggressively in lane. Doesn't matter if he has an afterburn. He should be able to juke and get himself away from this. And we'll see this over and over. A lot of interesting and aggressive plays coming out. Speaking of interesting and aggressive, starting all over. He's made the rotation down to bottom. He has the core collapse onto Tsunami. Tsunami over the top. Going to the stealth, but the scout cam's down, nothing to follow. Papa John, he's also down here. Truth's in a bad place, doesn't have that afterburn we were talking about. All he can do is stand his ground, got the healing flask, they've got the kill, they've got the damage stacking up, looking for more, clips him with the core collapse. They'll get 2 down in the bottom lane, now up 3-0 here. Nova starting off incredibly strong. And I just gotta mention, Denominate, hold that thought. Tsunami's down! They'll pick up oh, it's a reverse double kill from BlueStacks. What a rotation. And goodness gracious, I have a moment here to say. Well, I've been saying Tsunami. He said, call me Dr. Unami.
Starboy struggling a bit here in the top lane up against Erica Kane. The range that comes out of this Adagio as well as the self buff does make it a little bit of a struggle here for the Rona early on, and this is actually huge for Nova, and trying to keep this Rona behind is definitely a way for them to stay ahead in the game.
Now Starboy not really scared of a struggle. He'll get in there and trade blows with Erica. The thing is, like, yeah, Erica has a natural tendency to be winning through this early mid game and kind of bully him out, but there will be positions where this Rona can really put Adagio in a place where if you don't have boots, you can't escape, you're just gonna die. And right now, BlueStacks rotating over, and not gonna do too much, should go right back to mid.
Yeah, absolutely. Specifically, once Rona gets Serpent's Mask online and possibly has a weapon buff, that's where Erica Kane really starts to have to watch out for Starboy here. So far, looking at the CS, Erica Kane, we're obviously talking the advantage here early on, seeing 10 CS up against the Rona. In the mid lane, though, starting all over, sitting about 10 CS up against BlueStacks. And realistically, Samuel, in the early stages of the game, you'd like to see be able to pressure Celeste a little bit more, and that hasn't been the case. So starting phenomenal Celeste, and he's really getting the conditions met early on here to where Celeste is going to be able to excel.
Yeah, he definitely is doing pretty well thus far, and you know, starting, he's one of those players that more often than not makes me just like lose my voice at the end of a cast because he does really exciting stuff. Now, Truth, he's in a 3v1. He'll afterburn back, pop the healing flask, but good chance he goes down here, and he'll go ahead and go on down. Dr. Unami picking up that kill.
Yeah, 4-3 on the board, about 1,000 gold in lead. Erica Kane's jumped on by Starboy here, though.
Exciting.
Nothing gonna come of that one. I was hoping with the weapon buff he would have been able to pick up the kill, but fairly even trade there. Still no Serpent's Mask on Starboy, and like I said, that's where the real spike is gonna start to happen for this Rona.
Oh, absolutely. For now, it's just like kind of just slow play this lane. All he wants to do is farm until he gets those items and take advantage of someone if they put themselves in a vulnerable position. What he doesn't want to deal with is Delphi and Erica both up in the lane, but Delphi doesn't really want to hang around if he's not getting anything done, so he'll just go ahead and move out right now. Once again, Starboy, happy to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Delphi here on the Krull, his best opportunity in this game. He's got the tension bow. He needs to be constantly rotating and trying to pick up kills in the outer lanes so that they can start to push some of the objectives and try to establish more of a gold lead. I mean, they had almost a 2,000 gold lead earlier, but thanks
Starting
to double
dodges
kill.
the Oblivion.
Ooh.
Chakram not going to connect, but they have all of the damage they need. Starting goes down.
Yeah, excellent trade out there by the side of Hammers. And, you know, again, I was just mentioning they've brought the gold back to about even. Starboy getting pushed up a little bit here by Erica Kane in the top lane. Needs to get a chance to shot
around this Ghost Wing here. Nova move in with 3. There's 4 here from the Hammers. Who's gonna get this? Oh, it's taken away! Lyra grabbed that one with the Sigil. Now Delphi trying to retreat. He's dropped incredibly low. They might be losing more if they're not careful. Kaku on forward, BlueStacks clipping him with a Malice and Verdict. They don't have the splash damage, they don't have the follow-up, so Eco and Truth make it out, but what a nice steal by Eco.
Yeah, Eco, great steal with that Imperial Sigil. They did end up losing out on one, but they picked up that buff. Let's see if they use anything with
Starboy.
it. Starboy
Starts to spin, the verse comes out. Starboy, can he trade it? Erica, who's gonna make the play? Oh, he got back just in time because the heals came out and he would have got turned around on hard.
Yeah, Starboy still hasn't got a chance to shop. He has the gold in pocket that he needs to pick up that Serpent's Mask and possibly even some boots, but Erica Kane has done such a good job of denying shop opportunity from Starboy.
Right now, this is a dead Erica. Yeah, Erica just got rounded up there. Might have just taken on down. Look at the supernova damage coming out through. Papa John cannot stand up to the damage that's coming out of this Celeste right now.
No, absolutely not. Oh no, Kroll!
What are you doing, bud? Delphi, it's not what you're gonna want to be! Oh, Solar Storm coming through. Starting all over. Go get them! Just kill them all. This is why I love starting all over. It doesn't matter. He's not scared. Get that weaponry! Get in there! Starting, find yourself a kill. Don't back down now. He's got one. BlueStacks trying to get some Malice and Verdict damage coming on through. Save Starting! He's making the godly plays. The sigil's there. BlueStacks still staying alive for now. Starting, trying to land the core collapse. Not on the mark, but the supernova comes on through. Eco trying to kill still, but Starting still gets it. He's fighting two teams at one time. My goodness. This guy could boost anybody. Double kill for Starting all over. Just tap out, Hammers.
Oh no.
Get another one. The core collapse. You can't do anything. Papa John getting Papa wrecked right there. Starting all over. Just popping off on everybody. What a player.
Yeah, that was a trade that was looking to go over to BlueStacks, but Eco came through with a brilliant Imperial Sigil, able to heal his teammate up enough to get the kill, and then one by one they funneled in. Hammers just gave kill after kill trying to pick up the kill on Celeste, and it did not work out well for them at all.
Starting all over is why I like esports. I mean, and it's not like I like esports because of starting all over, but if you understand what I'm saying, it's the players like him, the players that get in there and don't back down. And oftentimes that's what separates just the best from your average professional. Like, this is how you win games. That's how you find kills. You move forward. Don't go backwards.
Yeah, I'd say you're absolutely right with that. Starting all over, playing a phenomenal game here on the Celeste. Really carrying Nova in all honesty for how this game has appeared. Level 10 on the Celeste. BlueStacks just ticking over to level 8. So we see what a dominant force he's been in the mid lane. 6-1-1 for the young Prodigy here.
Another Prodigy getting dropped down in bottom as they really committed onto that turret. Truth will go down. Solar Storm rips on through. They'll take down BlueStacks. Papa John almost going down to a Helio. The supernova would have chunked him on out. And look at, I mean, this is a Shatterglass Spellfire under 10 minutes here. He's building into his next item. He's got tier 2 boots up and running. This is not a Celeste I want to deal with. Delphi moves on in. Delphi's got some space, looking to try and get a kill himself. He's like, dude, Starting taking all the kills on the map. He'll get one. He's by himself. Can he get another Godly Sigil? Maybe it's Eco. Maybe Eco's the one doing it. Or maybe it's team effort to nominate. I hadn't really considered that one there. Come on, get it, Starting. He's got it. They'll find two down in the bottom lane. Nova up 13-9, 10 minutes in. How did Hammers get 9 kills? What's going on here?
Well, they picked up some good ones early on, and you know, we were talking earlier how they really brought the gold lead back down to essentially nothing, and that's kind of where Nova started to re-kick things into high gear, and now they've got about an 8,000 gold lead, picking up a kill onto Starboy there in the top lane. Erica Kane, good trade out there, good map awareness, and that's 14 on the board now for the side of Nova.
14 on the board. So where does the game go from here? Does Nova keep up the aggression? It doesn't seem like they should really dial it back.
I definitely don't think they're in a need to. You know, normally in these games, we're waiting for Celeste to come online. And like I mentioned earlier, Starting took a pretty sizable lead over BlueStacks early on, which is not what we'd like to see. We'd like to see the Samuel have a little bit of an edge early on, but Starting, he got ahead early and he came online very, very early. Hammers picked one up on Truth there, though.
Yeah, something going on with Truth. I'm not sure if he's having an issue there, but he just kind of bought an infusion, stood there, got dropped on down, but assume positive intent. Players are responsible for their own connection. Front House Heart's going to connect onto Papa John. Nothing to follow. They'll look to move on forward. Papa John, a tasty target, you could say, is Delphi looking to take him down. That's going to be another kill for Starting onto the Taka there. Junami taking on down. Delphi's looking for more, but eliminate. Not going to go down. Starting. He'll be able to take down BlueStacks as well. So just kind of picking Hammers apart right now. And The only non-factor of this game, or there's a non-factor from Hammers. I think everything's a non-factor at this point, but the biggest non-factor has been Starboy, who's been pinned up in that top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting all over, though, level 12 here in 12 minutes on the Celeste. That is absolutely absurd to have that big of a lead over the enemy mid lane. BlueStacks now level 9. Eliminate just now hitting level 6, and Eco is up at level 9. So we see what an experience discrepancy there is between these two teams right now. And the gold lead has grown now over 13,000. And so that really shows how much control Nova have.
Man.
I think if you're Nova, you just take any fight you want at this point and win the game.
Yeah, still be careful not to get jumped on. Here comes the gauntlet. Starting, so they're gonna be able to getting stunned up there. Won't be able to get out without being stunned, but he turns it around. Look at the AoE damage coming out. They'll pop Starboy. Starboy joins the first team fight of the game from Hell's Heart. Comes through onto BlueStacks. Delphi's there, eliminate. I don't know if he can keep BlueStacks alive. Spectral Smite coming on through. Not quite the kill, but the rest of the team is coming down towards the bottom of the fight if they're able to take down the Idris. Looking for more. They'll move on to the mid base turret here. And this is also Blacklaw marching on down the lane behind them. I don't even know if they're going to need it.
I definitely don't know if they're going to need it. Like I was just saying, they can really pick any fight they want. And Starting got double stunned at the beginning of that fight, caught out in the front line, and Hammers did no damage.
Must be all the defense he's bought.
must be the lack of attack that Hammers have put down. Oh man,
dude, lack of attack. I like that. It should be an ability name. Right there. Well, Nova really putting on a show, and this week has been a special weekend indeed for this team, and they're really showing this is a team that if you let down your guard at all, you're gonna go take a W.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting, it really kind of felt like Starting an Eco versus the world today. Here, Nova versus Hammers, but 22-10, 16,000 gold lead here at the end of this one. Nova. Absolutely unquestionable control in this game.
No questions here. Exciting to watch. Yeah, that was a dominating performance, but it really just, the game was blown wide open when Starting just started running at them.
Yeah, I mean, anytime your Celeste can be in the front line and you still win the fight, you're monster leagues ahead.
Monster leagues ahead indeed. Well, a couple of analysts that are leagues ahead of everybody else in the scene. Tasty Bacon, Flash X, break it down for us.
Nova keeping the streak alive and getting themselves another victory here. But I want to talk about the itemization that we saw at the end there. Both Adagio and Lyra with 0 offensive items going for the full-on double captain type of builds, and still being able to have enough damage in these team fights to pick up the win. That
utility-based Adagio is actually something we saw first out of Gabe Vizel in that top lane role. It's all about the utility. When he has that range and he puts Shiver Steel with it, you're constantly slowing all the important targets in the back line. And once you've Storm Crown online, it actually does a very decent amount of damage. Getting into this team fight, though, huge kudos to Lone Delphi, who is our player to watch. Later on, as they get deeper into this lane, Delphi convincingly takes a 1v3. It was absolutely beautiful. Starting all over, and Eco separated from the fight. Delphi doesn't even hesitate, just goes into the back line. 3 people on him. It doesn't even matter. He ends up taking them down, and the Eco dropping that Imperial Sigil to keep him alive, and Delphi just turning it around.
Yeah, absolutely incredible play coming out of him. Before this game, after yesterday, we had Starboy took to Twitter and said, well, the analyst desk says, yeah, so Hammers and Rehab both 0-4 records so far, definitely not ideal. But on the flip side, TSM is 5-0 this week. Roster's insane and causes talking about TSM. Well, Starboy, once you guys get a few wins, we'll talk about you as well. But that is going to be the Hammers still looking for their first victory. They have not been able to get a single one just yet through the preseason. Not looking good for them.
Savage. Yeah, no, they need to step it up. It is just the preseason, stakes not very high. I think that the preseason is definitely eye-opening. Got to be motivating. You got to want to turn things around. Taking a look at the results for today. Queso, Clash, Wolves all picking up wins in Europe, although that should be salty potatoes. potatoes, and then we have Tribe, Vision Gaming, and Nova Esports all picking up wins in North America.
Yeah, Vision and Nova with those wins, but especially Nova keeping the dream alive. They could still sneak into that second place spot, depending on how next week goes. But big moment of the day has to be Tribe coming back strong.
I don't know, get your Hot Pocket out, put it, in the microwave, get it going, start making your snack or popcorn, whatever you want, because this game's pretty much over. I mean, you can kind of kite back, try to apply some damage, but this feels like 90% chance Tribe plays this well, they're going to end the game. Now here's the jump. Gauntlet comes on down. Let's see if Jewel can apply some damage. I'm really not seeing it stack up just yet. There, it comes out on the Zeo. Big red button, but remember, this is a weapon Jewel. Not what they're looking for. School around the backside, getting the damage, but body blocked by Arden. Tribe kind of repositioning, grouping back. They jump onto the Scarf. Mixi applying good damage, but can't follow up. The Arcane Passage trolls him out. Mixi's down. Tribe have got one. They're going to look.
And off the back of that, the It's Lit stat of the day. Tribe going with a 0 death game. The number is 3. We have had 3 teams put up 0 death games. Tribe has 2 of them. One of the other teams with a 0 death game is TSM, and they are going to be pairing up next week. It is going to be a massive game. The fight for first place in North America will be decided with that game.
Definitely going to be hotly contested. I'm very much looking forward to it. I know all the players on both of those teams are very much looking forward. It's going to be the first time that both of those teams will be able to prove who is the best in North America.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be the hype game of the week. I don't think there's any question about that one in anyone's mind, that is the game to watch coming to you next weekend. Well, we'll be back then to take in that game, plus all the other games left to finish out our VPL Preseason Invitational preseason. Before we get going, congratulations to Kretobi, the final winner of this weekend's Samurai Kroll skin giveaway. Congratulations to him. Make sure you get yourself involved in all of our social media platforms for any future giveaways. Until next week, we'll see you on the Sovereign's Rise.